Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome, man. How are you?
I'm great. I attempted a Dutch greeting, begroeting. Is that correct?
Begroeting. There we go. Yeah, that's just the word for greeting, I suppose. So it's like,
Oh, okay. Well, I looked up hello and it was just hello, which is not very exciting. So,
yeah. No, that's exactly it.
uh,
If you would want to do it like in an official way, it'd be like goedendag.
okay.
But
All right, I'll
that's
forget that in about 30 seconds. So thank
that
you.
that's a rough one, man. That's a rough one. But yeah,
Yeah.
begroeting would be like greeting.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Anyway, dude, I was wondering, have you ever had any kind of coaching before, or is this the first one?
No, I'm not really a big gamer actually. SC2 is the only thing I play, and I work a lot and play sports, and not really a big gamer, so I've never taken it seriously enough to really want to. And then just the last few years, I don't know, just got the StarCraft itch. I have played it all the way back since Brood War, but just on and off and on like
Uh huh.
a month per year, and then I don't know. It's pretty late. I'm an old man now. I'm 28, so I'm kind of too old to get into the scene, but so.
I mean, you're in Diamond League, man. You've clearly been playing at least a bunch. Like, it's not like
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
been.
The last year or so, I really played it a lot more and taking it more seriously.
Uh huh.
Actually caring about mechanics and more of the meta of the game rather than just let me mass something and a click.
Uh huh. Cool. All right. So I already switched to the North American server. So for anyone wondering, since we're currently in Diamond League, right? Normally I focus a lot on gameplay and I try and like help people out directly by watching their games and have them play some games as well. But I've noticed in particular from like high platinum, like platinum 1 and up, in particular Diamond League and Master League and stuff, it's just not as very helpful because most of the advice I can give you to like play better will mostly come down to relatively little things, right? And I know you don't really need to, I have me watch you execute that because in most scenarios you can just sort of do it. You just need to be aware of it, right? Does that make any sense? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So like most of the time in higher leagues we focus a bunch more on the replay analysis. So that's what
Okay.
we're
Well,
gonna be doing today. Yeah.
I've got a good maybe eight-ish replays
Cool.
that I thought would be good. I kind of got a win and a loss with each matchup.
Nice.
Uh, so a win with Terran, a loss with Terran, win with Zerg, loss with Zerg, and then I would like to play a few. Well, I am kind of rusty, so maybe I should save the embarrassment. But
We can play a couple if you wanna. Yeah, sure. First off, let me have a quick look at your profile. Could you like join group LowkoTV? That probably would be easiest. I don't know if you're already in there.
and
Ron
now I'm gonna,
Mexico, is that it?
yeah.
Nice. Ron Mexico. There we go.
Google it sometime. It's just a funny story.
All right, all right. I've never actually heard of it, but that's cool. Oh, you actually just got promoted as well. Yeah, I just looked at the very first email you sent me in back in April. It's been a
Hmm.
little while already, but
I
then
think
you
I was
mentioned you
platinum
were.
back then.
Yeah, you were in platinum. That's what you wrote in that email. So that's cool. You've been
Yeah,
at the very least climbing a bunch.
yeah. I've just now started to get real serious, but just more pride than anything. Not for a future
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
career.
Ah, okay, makes sense. Yeah, most of the pro gamers retire at like 23, man. I'm already an old man for pro gaming.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
So,
think I can catch up to you young whippersnappers.
do you have like one goal in mind though, of what you really want to get to, or
Well, I guess master, breaking into that.
mhm.
I might fall out pretty quickly, but just to say that I did it would be nice.
Cool. Yeah, no, I think it's definitely possible. Master League is it's relatively, once you get there, it's relatively easy to maintain. Like you're not really going to very easily drop out of like high platinum diamond 3 right now either, even if you don't play for months, because you can quite easily pick it back up. Once you reach it, it seems to be way easier to reach it a second time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, your recent win losses are a little painful in your match history.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've been just kind of messing around at some points. I probably wasn't sober for several of those games, so
Fair
sometimes
enough.
after a few drinks, I'll come up and play a couple games and like proxy hatch, spine rush a Terran or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just messing around. But
Cool.
yeah, I actually started off this season really well. I think it was like 21-5. I started off
Yeah.
doing really well, and then I lost a bunch of games after that. I mean, you can see in my record now. Now I'm like 30 and 20 or something like that.
Yeah, actually your win rates are very solid as well. Like, judging just by your win rates for this season, you got positive in all of them. You even got, like, you know, 2/3 wins against Terran, which is really, really solid.
Yep. I think I do best against Terran most of the time.
Yeah, yeah, like statistically as well, when you watch all the games, you got like 60% against Terran. That's really solid.
Cool.
Yeah. It's actually all hovering around 50%. Like, it's not like one is significantly weaker than the other one, so that's cool.
Yeah. Well, actually, lately, I think I've been doing better. I feel like I'm doing better against Protoss. I think I've got them figured out. So, for actually probably fallen a little bit in Terran recently. Got a few questions about that when we get to them. Maybe
Sure.
I'll ask during the replays.
Sure, we can definitely do that. Cool. Alrighty, so now I can actually write down your current MMR, man. It's way more accurate than just writing down your win rates. Can at the very least track your progress very easily.
Yeah.
Nice. Alrighty, so cool. Yeah, so yeah, my idea was to try and do maybe all 3 matchups first, like have a look at a couple of replays and then potentially jump into some games afterwards.
Okay.
I think that's going to be most beneficial, and considering ZVT is then your highest win rate matchup, we can probably you know, cruise through that one and then maybe talk a little bit more about ZVZ and ZVP. Obviously, if you want to do something else, that works for me as well, but just you know, at least focus most of the time on the replays and then maybe play a couple games as well, because otherwise it's very difficult to do 3 matchups in you know, an hour or 2. There we go. I sent you a friend request as well. Maybe that should do it.
Okay, I got the friend request.
There we go.
Now
There we go. Cool. All right. Yeah. So as long as it's played in like the last patch, it shouldn't be very difficult. I don't know if you've selected replays from a long time ago, but here, if I give you the party lead, if you go to replays at the top, and then select one of the more recent ones, there should be a button that says watch with others.
Okay.
And if you click that one, it will go into a lobby.
All right. So I've got. Should we start with a win or a loss, and then what matchup would you like to start with?
Let's start ZVP. Let's start ZVP, and let's start with a loss.
With a loss. Okay.
Let's start on a low.
Yeah. We can only go up from there.
Exactly. So one thing, when you're in the lobby, like it will open up a little screen right here. If you can pass me the host of the lobby back so I can control the replay, that'd be great.
Okay. Do I just slide you upwards?
Yeah, you just gotta right click my name. It says like promote to Ruby host. I see you're one of those guys that just hits like multiplayer 1v1 play. That's it. Close game if you're done.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There's several things that I don't do by the book.
Fair enough.
But a few of them are things that I just don't know how. Some bad habits that I know that I'm doing that I am not sure about the proper techniques, and would like some direction on that.
Sure. Yeah, so first and foremost, before we actually look at the replay as well, I didn't ask you that yet. What is your hotkey setup? Like, what do you usually do? You run like the grid hotkeys or the standard ones, or have you adjusted any?
That's where the bulk of my questions are, and what I'm struggling with. Full disclosure, I'm an F2 addict, so that's I think I would be able to move up if I could just master that, because especially like, you know, ZVT, when I'm getting multiple drops in different bases and I'm F2ing to one base and then F2 to another base to defend each one. I mean, that's just not gonna cut it in Master League, that's for sure. And one problem is I use 1 through 4 really are the only ones I ever use hotkey wise, and it's on the numbers, not F1 but just the number 1, and I put my hatcheries on 1 because, and I started that from the beginning, and I realized watching YouTube that you don't put your hatcheries on 1, but I just started that way because that's the most important thing, and that's the thing I select the most often. So I put it as number 1, and Queens is number 2. And then 3 and 4 are usually, you know, infestors or something that have spells or abilities.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Honestly, as far as like the hatchery hotkey goes, like that sort of thing really doesn't matter. That's mostly what you're used to. I honestly wouldn't recommend switching that around because it's gonna hurt, man. You're gonna lose for like 3 weeks straight to do it. I know a lot of pro gamers that play with hotkey 1 just like that, and even some of like the Korean dudes that play Protoss. For like Brood War, the hotkey for making probes, for example, used to be P. And they've rebound hotkeys like for the Nexus to 0 because they were used to playing on the right hand side of the keyboard, and they just jump around like that. It's very inefficient, but you know, once you're used to it, it's not really worth switching around. But I would say like hotkeying army and all that, like that's definitely something that will easily help you out. In particular when you have well, like you said, like multiple drops going on, right? Like if you F2 hotkey click on the mini map or whatever, and you get dropped in another place, it's very hard to defend.
Right, and I just don't know the best technique. I've read about adding in the eggs to the hotkey group for your army, but just when I have new units training and morphing and popping out, and you know I'm in a battle across the map, adding them all up to the same hotkey seems nearly impossible, and I guess I need to know what the best technique and how to master that.
Okay, yeah, no, we can definitely do that. So hotkeying army, cool. And just to once again confirm, you use 3 and 4 for army mostly?
I use F2 for army actually.
Oh, okay. So 3 and 4 is spellcaster. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, if I have like infestors or something that, or like you know, vipers, you know, 3 and 4, so that I can access them in the group to do the spells.
Okay, no, that's cool. All right, so hotkeying army, yeah, we can definitely jump into that. I did make a video about it at some point, but it's probably really old and outdated and bad. So, I actually get a lot of people asking about that. I should probably like remake it anyway. Hotkeying army when fighting and all that. All right, yeah, it's a little complicated. It's a little difficult to explain because I obviously can't like show you my hand positioning, but I can try and explain it a little bit better in a replay or like in a custom in a little bit. It should be fine.
Well, one and 2 are easy for me to find. 3 and 4, and once it goes past that, you know, I guess it's just muscle memory that would, you know, pick. A lot of people. I mean, you don't look at your keyboard when you're pressing a hotkey ever, right?
No. I got no vision. Like there's no button on my keyboard. Oh no, my keycaps. Well, there's one on the front facing, but I can't see it if I sit in front of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a blank key.
When I make drones, you know, my actions are 1 SD.
Right. Okay, yeah. So you got the standard hotkeys as well for cool. Do you have any camera hotkeys by any chance set up?
I use this. I think I rebound a long time ago the delete button to the space bar where I can toggle through hatcheries.
Yep. Yeah, it's backspace.
And I really did that for the Queen and Jack, so I can do, you know, space bar, 2V click, 2 space bar, V click, you know.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. All right, so it comes down to 2 things, right? So the one that I would definitely recommend then is hotkeying the army as soon as you make it, right? That's just a little habit you got to get used to. It's like making drones, you know, like you just sort of get used to it and then you execute it without thinking about it. It just takes a little while before you get there, but that's like the first thing. And then the second thing I would say are camera hotkeys as well. So for example, I always have my F1 hotkey, so I use F1, F2, F3, F4. I got my F1 hotkey centered on my main hatchery. Then my F2 hotkey centered on my natural hatchery. F3 hotkey centered on my third hatchery, and so forth. And so forth, right? So once I hit F1, it will immediately, with a single click, like jump to my main base, and with a single click, it will jump to my natural. I don't know if you've ever heard of that or noticed that sort of thing.
I did not know you could hotkey the camera like that. I mean, I think I've heard of camera hotkeys. I've heard people use that term, but never utilized it. But I mean, I use the space bar for that.
Right.
But I guess it doesn't go. You know, it cycles through them at a semi-random order. Maybe whatever's closest. So.
Yeah, that's exactly what it does. So for example, I know, let's say I see a drop coming in on this map on my natural. I just hit F2 and I know immediately that my queen is gonna be in range, right? I immediately know where to go. I would say I can try and explain that as well, like the camera hotkeys. I would say in particular for the moment, just to like not overwhelm, you know, yourself when you're playing the game itself, because you're gonna get frustrated otherwise. Probably want to focus on like the hotkeying of the army first and foremost, and then just add in the camera hotkeys later. Because when I added that, like, it took a while to get used to. In particular, because it felt really far away. Like you're saying, like 1, 2, and 3 are easy to hit, and then F1, F2, F3, and whatnot seems really far away.
Well, you know, I'm used to hitting F2, so
All right, fair enough.
so those aren't hard to reach for me, and I think that actually is better because the difference between 2 and F2 is a lot easier for my hand to recognize without looking at it than 2, 3, 4, 5 are, you know, from each other. Because once you get to 3 and 4 and 5, then you know, I feel like I'm going to, you know, click 4 if I have you know, my army on 4 and then something else on 5. There'll be several times where I'm gonna lose my entire army because I'm gonna click 5 thinking it's 4 and
right. Yeah. Like, maybe play like unranked for the next week or 2. Like that might probably be your best bet. So you don't mess up your MMR. Anyway, yeah, let's have a quick look at ZVP and or do you want to talk about the hotkeys right away? What would be easiest, you think?
We could just get to the replay, but yeah, at some point, just whenever you think is best, let me know what you think the best techniques are.
Cool. All right, yeah, we'll definitely have to discuss that. Cool. Those are very good things to ask though, because just like you just build up a lot of speed with those kind of things, you know. Like if you're managing to split up your army and you're managing to hotkey your army much easier, and you can control the camera way better. It makes, in particular, like defending against drops way easier, and you probably noticed that in Diamond League as well. Like compared to Platinum League, there's a lot more double drops and triple drops and all that.
Yeah. Do you ever use the key that centers on action that happened? Like if it says your units are under attack, you can. I know there's a button you can press that jumps to whatever the alert was.
Yeah. No, that's the default spacebar hotkey. I find it really inconsistent, you know, because sometimes a second alert pops up right as you click spacebar, then like by the default click, and it just like overwrites the previous action. I don't know. I find it not to be so helpful. So usually I just, you know, well, once again I double tap 1 to go back to my entire army, because I know where that is located. Right? But yeah, I don't personally have that one hotkey. I know that some programmers do. Like there's a lot of it that comes down to personal preference as well. So if you think that's, you know, something you want to use, by all means bind it to something you can easily reach. But yeah, I personally don't use it.
Okay.
But yeah, you currently have your, just to clarify, right? You got the space bar is currently set to the base camera, right? That cycles between the hatcheries.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So let's quickly talk about ZVP, and then we'll jump into the replay. Okay, so what's like your or into the custom? So like, what's your current go-to strategy for ZVP? Do you have like one build order that you do the most, or?
I usually get a Roach Warren just in case of something early before I've got you know, a lair, but usually it's Hydra Lurker.
Okay.
That's kind of my typical go-to. If I don't have any other intel that recommends that I do something, like if I see, you know, Mass Colossus or something, I won't do that. But
fair enough. Cool. Yeah, so I don't want to hammer too much on the build order, just because there's a lot of variations on, and there's not really like one perfect build. One thing that I am noticing here, I guess from the early part of the game, you get the gases really early and the third very late.
okay.
And those are sort of going hand in hand, right? So for example, right now you're getting the third gas already and not saturating it for a long time. We're not really having any use for it for a while. Generally speaking, like versus Protoss, you can, once you know that they got a natural, which you already saw, it's totally cool to go for the third base as well. So I would probably take the third base right around right now, even before getting the lair.
Wait a minute. Kapow!
Okay.
It's Loco time, bro. Big huge for you.
Thank you,
Just get it or saturate it as well.
No, you actually saturate it as fast as possible too.
Okay.
But it very much so depends on what the Protoss is going for as well. But anyway, first thing first, like I would slow down on the gas, in particular like the second and the third one. The first one's fine. And get the third base a little bit faster.
Okay.
Because that way you will be able to match their economy a little bit easier. So as far as like the since we're getting zerking speed here, I think you got the zerking speed really early, right? I think it was Hedge Gas Pool.
Yes, I usually do, and but I think I think maybe now that I'm in a higher league that in Diamond that it might be easier to do that. But I know before going three hatches before any kind of army or tech at all usually means death because
Uh-huh.
in the event that I don't get cheesed early, it just seems like I need some more. I guess if I'm scouting and they're still just econing, then I can just go on forever until they decide to army up. But
All right, all right.
I,
So basically, what you're looking for is like a way to stay safe and still make workers, right?
all right,
Um, all right. So there's a couple little tricks, I guess, that help out a lot in ZVP. In particular in ZVP, it's really good. So when you think of like all the builds that Protoss can go for, usually there's like a list of them that are interesting and scary, right? So for example, like Oracle Harass is scary, Dark Templar stuff is scary, Adepts can be terrifying. You know, those kinds of things are all something to keep in mind, right? Now you can counter most of them just by a couple of relatively basic timings. So, like for example, right now you're getting the Roach Warren. That's mostly a safe repercussion, right? Like at the very least, that's
yeah.
what it seems to be. Like you're just sort
It's
of making
just
it
in case I see, yeah, like you said, a bunch of adepts moving across the map. I can pump out the roaches to defend.
All right, yeah. You can definitely do that. I would just get it around 4-ish minutes. So 4 minutes, the reason for that is usually like adept all-ins or like adept aggression comes in at right around 5. So if you have the Roach Warren starting around 4 minutes, generally speaking, you're going to be okay. So I do actually like that you get the Blind Spore. That's very good. I was gonna mention that one next. So basically what I'm saying, like when you put down the Blind Spores, also put down the Roach Warren. That's like a good timing on it.
Okay.
So to stay safe, and by the way, I'm making a whole lot of notes as well that I sent to you afterwards. So if you,
So my third is at 4 minutes. That's late.
yeah, that's pretty late.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, like there's a lot of Zerg players right now, even that go double hatch before pool. Like
Oh, right.
it's relatively standard right now, but
That's
it's not necessarily super late though, because you're saturating it reasonably well. It's just that it could be a little bit earlier.
Right. But
So,
I feel like the higher level league, the more, I mean, I'll watch you, I guess, play, and you're droning for so long. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's gonna die any second now.
right.
Like how's he getting away with this?
Yeah. Okay. So there's a couple things, right? So the first one is then the 4-minute spores. That's the one way to get away. Then the 4-minute Roach Warren as well. I find that one to be super helpful. And then the last one that I'm sort of missing right here, and that's maybe something that is also in the other replay. We'll have to double check that one, like the one with the win. But I'm missing a lot of vision on the map, because we got some nice Overlord spread, and you can have like a bit of a peek at his third base on that. But I don't mind not going for the Overlord scout in the base, but we are missing a bunch of vision, right? Because say like can you see my pings, by the way?
Yes.
So say like he's moving out right now, right? With that adept all-in I talked about, that usually hits right around 5 minutes, right? We wouldn't be aware of any of that until it's right there, right?
Right.
Which is basically the moment where the game is already over. Like if all of a sudden 16 adepts show up right now, that's game over for sure.
Right.
So now it's not gonna happen in very many games, but it's nicer to just simply prevent it, right? So the one thing that I found to be super helpful in like all matchups is to make one round of Zerglings right when link speed finishes. So what I mean with like one round of Zerglings is like usually it's like 8 or so. So like 16 links.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's say 16 to 20 links when link speed finishes.
And that's blind, right? I mean, if
Yes.
if you have a Overlord flying through his base and see that there's literally no, unit production, you might want to skip that, correct?
Yeah, you could, but the nice thing about it is that like so here's the thing, right? Protoss has like when they're on 2 bases, they've got like 2 options. Either they make army or they make a 3rd base, right? Mm-hmm. And if you look at the timing where that link speed finishes, so you should start making links, right about right now. You would make like say 16 Zerglings or 20 Zerglings right now. It lines up with the timing of his 3rd base as well. So right now, since he's not going for any kind of super aggressive play for you, you could use, for example, the Zerglings to counter that third. I mean, if you look at his ground army, he's got 1 Stalker and a Mothership Core, right? So there's always use for those Zerglings. The only thing is that you need to be active with them on the map.
Yeah.
And
I need to F2 them around, right?
yeah, exactly. or 3. Well, actually, I use all army for early game as well. That works totally cool.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's something that I can definitely improve on is like counter run buys, like having a pack of lings to do run buys as a counter. But if I'm using F2, then there's no possible way to do that because my lings are gonna run back once I click to control my army to defend my base.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, definitely. So it's good practice. It's good practice as well, even if there's nothing going on, to just sort of keep on running around with your Zerglings and keep the money low. Just to sort of pass, get used to that controlling and macroing at the same time, of the army.
Yeah.
But like the main reason to make the Zerglings is to defend against aggression. But no matter what, I would always try and have like a little bit of scouting going on right now on the map. So for example, like these pathways, like those are always going to be crossed when Protoss tries to move across the map. Basically what we're trying to achieve is like, imagine him walking across the map. We want to catch him as soon as he walks, right? Like we want to see him as soon as he moves across the map. So that we actually have time to prepare, right? If we don't see him until he's on our creep, then it's very difficult to stop.
Right.
So yeah, a couple things like 4-minute Spore Crawlers, and then the 4-minute Roach Warren, and then the Zerglings when link speed finishes, and try and scout and get map control. With those.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. Really, it's just usually just forgetting or focusing on macro. I think I'm definitely better at macro than micro. But yeah, I mean, there's really no excuse just to run a link out there. Actually, I'll tell you what. There's another downfall of the F2 is I'll have a link out there sometimes and then end up realizing that it's gone.
Oh right, yeah, no. Yeah, that's bad. That sucks.
Same thing with that's why sometimes those overlords out there, they were just overlords, but sometimes I'll convert them to overseers so they can fly over a little faster without getting killed. But if I F2 at any point, they're gonna be gone. So there goes all my map vision. Because my overseers all came to my army.
I think what we're gonna do is like on hotkey the all army hotkey for like a week or 2. Probably would be best.
It's gonna have to be a cold turkey. Hey,
exactly. Pretty much. Yeah, it was a good scout actually right there. So you know about the carriers now. Now very uncommon, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, in general, versus carrier play, Hydras are very hard to pull off.
Yeah, I guess I was going to ask you about that. Should I have switched to corruptors right now as I saw that?
Yeah, corruptor and like target fire down the corrupt or the what do they call it? The carriers. Like don't auto attack with them or don't attack move with them. Just like click on the carrier generally works.
That was a question I have for you. I saw a pro gamer playing, and he went Hydra against the carriers, and that's why I did that in this situation. That's why I was confident that the Hydra would be okay. And he didn't target fire down the carriers. He allowed them to clear out the interceptors first, and then they were easily picked off. Is it always standard to target fire? Because that's what I would have done. I thought that was always the strategy. But
yeah, mostly it's like corruptors and queens. Like corruptors and queens usually are at least like the last time I haven't seen any kind of mass carrier play in a little while. But yeah, mostly it's gonna be corruptor play and then maybe add on queens as well. By the way, your creep spread here is really good.
Oh, thank you.
The creep spread here is really legit. Yeah, you could. Queens are honestly queens are the best anti-air unit you have. It sounds kind of dumb, because nobody really considers them to be anti-air units, but they're by far the best because they don't really die. So it's if you have creep spread like this, just keep on making more and more queens, and you're gonna have to hotkey those. I'm afraid they don't listen to F2, but
yeah,
they're super good at like if you would add like 5 queens to this fight as well, you could keep the Hydras alive. I don't know, like a whole lot longer. It's actually totally worth it.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely versus air Protoss or versus Skytos, I would consider going Corruptor over Hydras. But yeah, definitely both are viable. But in my experience, like if they get maxed out on air units, Hydras just sort of completely miss the boat. Like they completely get wasted.
Yeah, they get melted pretty easily.
Yeah. So versus Skytos, I would go Corruptor Queen. And then what you're looking for is to target fire down with the Corruptors on the carriers, and then try and transfuse afterwards on the carriers with the Queens.
Should I get the mothership first?
If you have detection, probably should go for the carriers, but I usually just try and pick the mothership core off or the mothership as fast as possible. Like that thing is scary.
Yeah.
I still think of Vortex from like Wings of Liberty. It's not even a thing anymore, but.
So I think at this one, I think this might have been after I had seen that, and so.
Yeah.
Wait.
It hurts.
No,
so
I
bad,
target fired the mothership, and that was. Never mind. I take that back. I target fired the mothership, and it was a bad decision, I think.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard to kill it once it maxes out, and when they have this many things, it's very hard to pull off. You could go Hydra. I think maybe the game you watched with the Hydras may have just been one where they went super greedy and had like 7 bases or something, so you can just replenish the Hydra army immediately. That may have been one of the things. I'm not entirely sure what game it was, but yeah, I would recommend going Corruptor either way, just because it helps out a lot. Anyway, let's jump into the next one before we spent like 2 hours in this one.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I'm looking for mostly is the map control in the next one as well, because that's honestly the main thing that was missing here. I would say that you can like consistently add to every single match, because this one was this one like wasn't necessarily badly played or whatever. It was just like need a different army composition.
Okay, what matchup and result would you like next?
Let's do the Protoss and the win, just to compare the two.
Okay, for a toss with a win. Okay, I gotta make you host again. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll just write down like a little tab that says like improvements, I suppose, for every matchup. That would probably be most helpful, so you can try and implement those.
All right.
Yeah, and honestly, the main one definitely would also be hotkeys. It's not necessarily relevant in that game, but it will definitely make you feel way more confident, I suppose, in your control, you know?
Right.
Oh, same map, same spawn locations, man. That's scary. Same opponent as well, or? I don't think
and
so.
same colors, I think.
That's a ladder match, right? They always have same colors.
I hope I picked a different one. Yeah, different opponent. Yeah. Well, this will be easy for comparisons because there's a lot of constants here. Hey, look where my lings are.
I like this a lot better. Yeah. Also, the Overlord, well, the Overlord is a little aggressive, but
yeah.
At the very least, you get vision now. That's good.
Yeah. Hey, and I won, so maybe this made the difference.
Yeah, no, maybe. There've been so many games where you can just see, like, here's the thing, right? If 2 adepts walk, like, right there, you just make a handful of Zerglings. But if you don't see them, and they just get right here, all of a sudden they show up, they kill, like, 8 drones. It's far too much. You could basically lose the game just to 2 adepts like that. It's actually the same strategy as well, the double Stargate again. What's this madness?
Maybe it's the map.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe this map isn't great for ground attacks because you either have a tiny little that or the rocks. Those are the only 2 options.
Yeah, this map is rough. I always try and knock down these rocks as soon as possible.
So all I have to do is just put some lurkers at that entrance and you can't get in.
Exactly.
So I guess that's why these
you play against dirty players, man. Look at this double Oracle. Oh, hey, there you go. Or double Oracle. Like, what is this? 8 of them.
And I went Hydra again because that's very typical.
Yeah, no, I think Hydras are great. Hydras are like the go-to unit in almost all scenarios, to be honest, in Zerg vs Protoss. Like, you can almost get away like Hydra Lurker. It's probably the best thing to go for in the middle game. I don't know, or in the middle part of the game. I don't know if you ever go up to Hive or whatever and try out Brute Lord play as well. But that's a super good follow-up to to the Hydra Lurker play.
Is what Broodlord?
Yeah, like Broodlords in the Hive tech after like Lurker Hydra sort of falls off.
Okay.
That's something worth considering anyway. Yeah, so once again, the third base was this was like I think it was like 4 minutes 45 second ish on that third base.
Okay.
Definitely a little bit late. And also I wouldn't recommend going for the armor upgrades versus Protoss, generally speaking. Like you didn't do it in the last game, so maybe this was a bit of an earlier replay or something. But
yeah, I usually if I'm going Hydra Roach, I'm gonna do
right. Okay.
I'm gonna do missile and carapace. But if I'm doing like Ling Roach, obviously I'll do the 2 attacks. But should I not even do it at all? Is it not even worth the minerals? Or?
Yeah, I would probably still go melee, but that's just because I plan on doing a lot of Zergling run-bys and a lot of Zergling aggression in the late game.
Okay.
And the upgrades help out a lot. If you're saying like you're not gonna go for any kind of Zergling play, you're not really planning on it, then obviously, well, you may as well just, you know, get the armor upgrade. Then it's totally worth it. It works out well in this game here anyway. Yeah, so solid macro again. At least good production here. Because you can see like that's like all wasted time here right now, right? You can see that with the army just sort of like, you know, gathering here instead of moving across the map. It's basically just waiting until you hit F2 again, right?
Yeah.
We didn't get to this stage in the last one. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying what should I do to avoid that?
Yeah, so like hotkeying the army, right?
About that.
Yeah. So like basically the hotkeying of the army right when you build it, so automatically move across the map. That's the main thing. But we'll jump into a custom after this one.
Okay.
Just to try and explain that. Yeah, so we didn't get to this stage in the game in the last match. The only thing I'm really noticing here, because I like the playstyle and I like the fact that you're going for the hive and I like the upgrading and all that. I don't think that's really much room for... I mean, that's just a matter of practice, right? I'm sure you will be able to figure that out. The one thing that I'm noticing is that you're a little low in economy. Like, you could probably get away with, like, another 25, 30 workers. That'd be totally okay.
Yeah, I think I stop at some point because I want a bigger army. And if I have, you know, 2,000 minerals, I feel like... And I realize, you know, later game units cost more. But I just figure, you know, once I get to 50, 60 drones, I mean, are you saying, you know, I should go up to 80?
Yeah, 80, like 75, 80-ish, that's a good number. So I would recommend getting, usually you get like 3 bases fully saturated. So right now, I mean, the main base saturation doesn't really count anymore. So you would need at least like another full base saturated just to keep that constant supply going, even if he cleans up the army.
And I assume, as long as I don't lose any drones, I figure, you know, the ones from the main go to the 4th, and then the ones from the 2nd go to the 5th, and I could always have 3 bases. So I haven't lost any drones this game, or maybe the oracles, but so I would assume I would never have to, you know, ever have to make more drones if I don't lose any after I've saturated 3 bases. Is that right?
Yeah, I would still look for a little bit of a higher total. That's pretty much for Zerg versus Terran and Zerg versus Protoss. Like, at least if you plan on doing like hive tech, because right now we're at hive, like you kind of need a lot more eco to properly support it. But yeah, if you lose them, definitely replace them. I would try and balance around, if you can, at least like try and balance around 70, 75-ish at least.
Okay. Yeah, I think it said I had 58 there at the end.
Yeah, it's a little too low for like if that army would get cleaned up, it's a little too low to like properly rebuild it. Like you had a big bank and everything in this case, so you know, maybe this is not the perfect example, but I just noticed like it's a little lower than they ideally are looking for.
Okay.
Anyway, so as far as improvements go for this one, I would say slow down. Hold on, let me write that down. So slow down on gas, and get the 3rd faster.
Okay. That'll probably be a problem in all of these replays, I'm guessing.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, give it a try and see what you think, right? Make like the group of Zerglings when Zergling speed finishes up and try and be active with those. And then get the Roach Warren and the Spore Crawler at 4 minutes. I would say those are the main things to worry for. So you can focus on getting that economy going a little faster. Other than that, actually it looks pretty solid. Like wasn't that much to really work on this one. If you want to, I can give you more detailed builds as well. But I can send those to you later. That's fine.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, if you have like super specific build orders you would like to try out, I got those as well. But these are the things that I would work on first and foremost. Anyway, I decided to leave the replay real quick right there.
Okay.
Let's jump into a custom real quick.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think what would be the easiest way to show you this. Oh, one thing that probably would help, if you could give me the party lead.
Oh yeah.
I think I can create a game with a mod. That would probably be helpful. I can get like the infinite resources mod. Probably be fastest.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have to make workers. If it works, that is.
Can you tell me how to activate that in the real games?
Yeah, I wish. Actually, no, I don't.
What's what were those Broodlord cheat hacks? It was like life everlasting or something, or
I don't remember, man.
cheeseburger. There was some black sheep wall, like it gave you a vision of the entire map. There are like a few cheats you could put into the chat. I'm sure you're.
Oh, right, like the Vogue of War hacks and all that.
Yeah,
like
I'm
in a
sure
single
some of
player?
your. I bet some people on Twitch will start naming some of them.
I don't know what it's called.
Maybe
I know there's an infinite gold mode. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Someone probably
you might be too young to remember, but
maybe. No, I
Compared-
remember from like Red Alert and all that, like the good old Red Alert and like what's it called, Generals and all that. You had those cheats. I still remember from Heroes of Might and Magic 2. I can still dream all of those cheats. It's pretty dumb.
it was definitely I think it was specific to StarCraft though.
Oh yeah, I didn't play the original StarCraft very much.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, that was middle school for me, so you had to have been young.
I actually, I've talked about this before on stream, right? But I remember being in like a games store, or like well, it wasn't a game store back then, I guess. It was just like they sold toys and they happened to have like a gaming section as well. And I remember walking up to my mom with like Diablo 2 and Warcraft 3, right? We were there together. For some reason, she decided to come with, whatever. I think she was gonna buy me a game. Anyway, I came up to her with like the Diablo 2 one and the Warcraft 3 one. And the Diablo 2 one had like this demonic dude on the front, and the Warcraft 3 one had like the orc on the front, right? And my mom was like, no, we're not gonna get that. We're just not gonna get that. That's a terrible idea. We're not gonna get that. That looks terrifying. I still remember getting GTA instead. Just because it didn't look so bad. But
Yeah,
like,
the cover-
I would have played the Blizzard games when I was younger if it wasn't for the fact that it looked scary on the front.
Little does you know that the difference in game is quite the opposite.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite, man. Anyway, I'm trying to find the infinite resources here. I don't know where it is. Anyway, we'll just make a game instead. It's probably faster instead of me looking for it for like 2 hours. But yeah, I remember playing GTA and I was like, what is this game? I had like a friend of mine down the street who was he had 3 older brothers and he had older games. Like they had older Blizzard games as well, but we never really played those. Anyway.
So I'm observer.
Yeah, I just want to showcase it to you real quick, just to try and explain it a little bit better before switching sites, I suppose.
Okay. Can you switch in game?
Nope. The technology isn't there yet, man.
Come on, Blizzard, catch up.
Oh, actually, we could have tried Archon, maybe. Maybe that would have worked.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Anyhow. Alright, so here, I'll just make a bunch of stuff. So
Don't
basically
get
what we're
cheesed
looking...
by the AI.
Nah, he does... is he Terran or what is he?
I didn't notice.
Anyway, if you double click on my vision, it should give you like the selection of my like screen as well, right? Can you see the things I'm clicking?
Yeah, I see your selections.
Cool. So I guess I'll just make a bunch of stuff. So basically, what we're trying to achieve is like hotkeying the things that I'm building right as I'm still creating them out of the egg, right? That's the main goal. So for me, I'm using a bit of a different hotkey setup than you are, but I'll try and translate it. I guess I'll select hotkey. You have hotkey 1, right, for your hatcheries? Yeah.
Yes.
So say I'm gonna create a bunch of drones right now, just for example's sake. Say I'm gonna be adding those drones that I'm gonna be creating here to hotkey 2 or hotkey 3 rather, which is gonna be your army hotkey, I guess. Right from the get-go. So what I'm gonna do is select the hatchery and hit SD. So I'm creating them right now, and then hit Shift +3. And what happens is that, like, if you look at my hotkey 3 right now, it shows like a little cocoon icon, right?
Right.
And right now, wherever I'm gonna be going with hotkey 3 will automatically be automatically be moving in because they were hotkeyed by the cocoons. Now, there's one subtle difference, right? So right now, hotkey 3 has got 3 units in it. The way you like recreate a hotkey is by hitting Control +3, right? So that would recreate hotkey 3. Now, if I want to add something to hotkey 3, there's another hotkey for that, and that's hitting Shift. I don't know if you ever used that one or if you ever tried that out, but it's super helpful. So say I want to add like this worker right here to the right to the existing hotkey of 3. What I can do is select it and hit Shift +3. And right now, if you notice, like at the bottom side of the screen, it now shows 4 units in that hotkey group.
Okay.
Now what happens is like I can use this whenever I'm making more drones as well. So right now, if I'm once again selecting my hatchery, I'm creating SD, I'm adding more. I can use Shift +3 to add them to the existing hotkey of 3. And that's basically the exact same concept as I'm using whenever I'm making army. Does that make any sense?
Okay.
Like the logic behind that?
Yeah, I get it. One question I have, and I think I've heard the answer to this, but I didn't quite understand it. If I'm selecting my larva and I select 10 larvae, but I only have enough money for 5 units,
Right.
if I do Shift 3, it's going to add the larva in there, and then if those larvae become overlords in the future, it'll be in my group, right?
Right. Yeah. So that's a good question actually. You've tried it out, I see. Yeah, I've had that as well where I accidentally hotkeyed a larva. So we gotta wait, I guess, a second before I get some more larvae. Anyway, so right now I got 2, right? I got 2 larvae or 3 larvae hanging around. Say I want to be making 2 of those. 2 of the 3 larvae that I have right now into drones, right? Or into army, whatever. What I can do is hit the same hotkeys. So once again, I'm gonna create 2 out of the 3 eggs into larva. But instead, what I'm gonna do before hitting that Shift +3 is I'm gonna hold down Control and click on the cocoons at the bottom, and then hit Shift +3.
It doesn't show me that, but so at the bottom on the little selector area, it's got egg, larva, and you're clicking the second egg.
Yeah, but holding down Control.
While holding down Control. Okay.
Yeah, so Control is like...
I have Alt that serves as Control because I found that moving my thumb back to Control and assigning the hotkeys is much easier with Alt because my thumb's a lot closer to it.
Oh, I use my pinky for that. Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with, but it's the same idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I do Alt, but anyway, I guess that's not that important. I know what you mean when you say Control. So I click Control and the second larva, and then Shift 3.
Well, yeah, you Control click on the cocoon. So right now I got a whole lot more larvae, so I guess I can show you once again, right? So say I want to click those.
I just don't see how anyone can do that many clicks, especially click on the bottom of the map like mid battle when you're training, reinforcements.
Right.
I just don't see that that's even physically possible.
Right. Okay. So say like the nice thing about it is that you'd never have to look back. Like you never have to like look back. I can just sort of do it while here. So right now I'm chasing around this Zergling, right? Let's say we're fighting. I can just select my hatchery, and I can create these things, and then once again just simply continue onwards. And now you get these lines that are created, right? And the units that will now spawn. I haven't looked away from these drones, but the units that now will spawn will automatically follow around. So I can keep on doing this. Just by simply clicking the hotkey and like continuing onwards with my army. I don't know. It's something you get used to after a little while. It's not really. I guess it's not really magical.
Not as hard as it sounds.
No, it's not. It's not nearly as hard as it sounds, I guess.
Okay.
I'm doing it automatically. Like the thing is, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm doing it right now as well when I'm not even meaning to do it.
Right.
It's just something I guess you get used to after a while.
It's so easy, says the Master League player.
No, it's not necessarily easy, right? But it's not It's not the most difficult thing in the world, I suppose. What I'm saying.
Okay.
Anyway, let's
Alright,
just give it a try. Just give it a try in a custom as well.
So if I accidentally, if I'm mid battle and I'm doing control, click the egg, and I misclick and have some larva in there, and I'm having to like re-click and make it just perfect so that it adds correctly.
Right. What you can do, I actually should have shown you that. When you accidentally do add larva to it, what you can do is select the hotkey group that you have. And then at the selection panel in the bottom of the screen, you can hit Ctrl plus Shift. You hold down both of them and then click on the larva. And it deselects all the larva.
Okay.
And then you can recreate. Yeah, it's very. Let's begin with this part, okay? Because otherwise it's gonna it's gonna be a mess. All right. You probably want to go for Zerg. There we go.
What is the percentage?
What do you mean?
There's a percentage next to my name, Zerg. Color.
Oh, it's like a handicap. So let's say you're playing with against someone who's weaker. You can like, I believe it like reduces the damage output and the health or something. So if you put it to 80%, your units are way weaker.
Oh, okay.
It's something like that. I don't think anyone uses it. It's like a leftover from I don't know, StarCraft 1, I guess.
Okay, so what am I doing here? Same thing you did?
Yeah, just probably want to make an expansion real quick, or like a second hatchery. Just build it in the main base, just so we have a little bit more larva to test it with. But
okay. I'm just doing my typical stuff. Maybe I shouldn't have made an overlord.
Yeah, just go ahead and make a hatchery next. That's fine. We don't really.
All right.
We just need larva.
But I probably need an overlord, don't I?
Yeah, you're gonna need that one, I guess. Yeah, we may as well just make a spawning pool as well then. Get some more larvae going. You get, like, the thing is, once you get used to it, it really isn't that difficult. I understand it seems like a lot of actions, but I don't know. I find it to be super helpful once you do get used to the jumping around on the keyboard, I suppose.
Okay. All right. So should we start? I'll make
Sure.
I'll make some drones and make them my 3.
Sure.
So I'll go all 3.
Right. You for like adding new units to it though, you gotta use shift, right? I don't know if you've rebound shift.
I have not, but I'm about to test it. I'll wait till I get 3 more larvae and see.
Sure. Yeah, so notice right now, like the number above 3 says 3, right? That's how you can test it, I suppose, and then you can see if that like number goes up.
Yeah. So I'll do 1 SDDD 3 times, or actually no, I'm gonna do I'll wait till we get like 5 larvae, and I'll do 1 SDDD, so it's 3 out of 5, and then control click the 3rd larva, and then shift 3.
You can no, you gotta select the cocoon. You don't have to select the 3rd one. You can just select the cocoon in the top left corner of the selection.
The top left corner?
Yeah, so like if you make 3 of them, at the bottom of the screen, since right now you have 6 larvae, it will show 3 larvae and 3 eggs.
Uh-huh.
You can just control click on any of the eggs. It doesn't have to be any specific ones.
Okay. All right, so I've got 6 larvae selected, 1 S, and I'm going to go DDD for 3 drones. Control click one of the eggs, and then shift 3.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, that didn't work.
I think since you rebound control, it may very well be alt click for you.
Well, I know I did alt. So maybe
you need to try control.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know how you change up the hotkeys. There you go. That's it. And I shift 3. Exactly. So right now if you move around with 3, exactly. You see those lines? That's what we're looking for.
Okay. Well, yeah, I might need to.
It's gonna take a while to get used to, but it's fine.
I might, since I've been using alt so much as control, I probably need to see if I can rebind it for that purpose.
Yeah, you gotta see what is most comfortable for you, I guess. To be fair though, like it's someone in chat is pointing it out as well. Like it's much easier to learn these hotkeys than it is to learn how to macro. Like learning how to macro is a pain in the ass. This is considerably easier to learn. You know, it's not gonna.
Think so?
Yeah, for sure.
I just have an issue with hitting the right key sometimes. You know. Like when I get to 3 and 4, and then like I'll have my infestors on 3 usually, and so 3F is for fungals, but I don't know, 1 and 2 are easy, and then 3 is a little harder, and then 4 is basically impossible for me to hit 4 and then tell where the whatever ability that letter is very difficult for me to be able to tell. So I know that's not something necessarily you can coach me up on,
yeah,
but...
like I think it's mostly that works. it's mostly like a matter of just practicing it, to be honest. Like there's no magical way to achieving it, I suppose. What we can yeah, sure, go ahead.
1 SZZZ, control click, and then 3.
There we go.
So I gotta go 3, and there we go.
There we go, yeah. So let's try and move across the map, and then while you're moving across the map, just look at your army and try and add on more and more units to it.
I just pressed F2, but...
All right, here's what you do, okay? You hit F10 and you unbind the hotkey. All right, so just follow around your army and just attack across the map and just try and add on new stuff to it constantly.
And I'm not kidding. I seriously might just pluck off my F2 key.
Oh yeah, totally. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Do it?
Yeah, just hit F10, options, and hotkeys.
Well, I was thinking about like physically removing the key off of my keyboard.
Oh. That seems like a lot more effort than just simply going into the hotkeys, though.
Because I'll tell you what's going to happen is I'm going to click it and not remember that it's gone and try to move my army and it's all going to die. But if it's actually physically not there, as soon as I go to click it, I'll remember instantly because it's missing.
But you can still click it, though, even if it's not there. Like, do you have a mechanical keyboard or like?
My keyboard's pretty... No, the button's really deep inside there because I've already done it to the tilde key. And I think actually I got that tip from you. You ripped yours off so you can find the 1 easier.
Yeah. That's a long time ago, man. I stopped doing that. But that's what all the programmers still do. They still rip out keys out of that keyboard. It works.
Well, I just did it, so
it's
YOLO.
Gone. It's gone. Do you have like a keyboard where you can put it back in, or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, like, did you just ruin a keyboard, or? I remember these old, like, rubber dome ones.
It's so raised up. It's like Lego pieces almost.
Really?
It's not like a flat one, like like a laptop where all the keys are flat.
Is it like
really
one of those
up.
Corsair ones?
It's CM Storm, but I don't know much about.
Oh, yeah. No, I know the ones you mean. Yeah. Those are like they're like floating above the key thing, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's give it a try.
You can't reach your finger in the hole to push the F2 button without like a pin or something.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were meaning the mechanical ones. Okay, no, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I know the ones you mean. So you have to push your pinky finger into it right now to try and select all hotkey.
Yeah, and I don't even think I can reach it down. It's pretty far down there. I'd have to grab a pin.
You gotta like cheat yourself out of trying it. All right. Well, hey, let's give it a try. See how it goes.
Okay. I made an overlord because I was. Okay, no, I made them. All right. So I've got my army selected here. 3A click. I'm moving across the map. All right. So hatchery. Let's see. Control that, and then shift 3. Okay. So as soon as those pop up, it moved to 14. So I should.
There you go. That's it. And just try and fight here, and keep on while you're fighting. Try and keep on adding stuff to it. Yeah, he's gonna be a little up north. There we go. That's just natural.
He didn't go expo first to gold.
What a noob, man. What is this? Very easy AI. All right. So attack it and try and add more stuff to it.
Oh wow. There would be no way for me to micro during that time.
There's no way to micro during that time. You just gotta like try and minimize the time, right? So right now your attack move, for example, you have a little bit of downtime because right now all you're doing is staring at the army, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it sounds very complicated, and I know it sounds like something that's difficult to pull off, but it's just something you gotta get used to. Just attack move and like spend a little bit of time. Exactly. If you can spend all your larva, that makes it way easier because it takes out an entire 2 actions, right?
Right. So I've only got 3 larvae. I'm gonna try it now.
Sure.
All right. So 1S.
Oh, just hold down the button. There you go. Shift 3. Poof. There you go. Just try and kill his base and keep on adding the larva. Just keep on adding the larva.
Okay. He never learns.
There you go. There you go. That was already 10 times faster than the first time around.
Yeah. I think I'm getting it.
I love how they keep running one SUV down to try and get it started. Oh man, he was bringing two this time.
Two this time because they realized one didn't work.
You figured out your strategy. Yeah, so this attack move, like whenever you attack move, that's like the time to make stuff, I guess. And let's keep on trying it.
Okay.
There's like a lot of dancing on the keyboard, I suppose. Have you ever seen Lucira's keyboard?
No.
Here, I'll send you a link, okay? I'll show it on stream real quick as well. For those of you that have never seen Lucira's hands, that's what like 700 APM looks like. Here we go. Here, I'll send you the link on Skype. There you go. That's what your hands look like after playing this enough. Here, for anyone who's never seen this before. Oh, hold on. I'm doing this the wrong way.
Oh goodness.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy.
So he never misses a key though, does he?
I don't know. That's like way overboard. But all right, here we go, guys. Lucira. Now,
I think I got it. I can practice this on my own. If you want to move on to.
Yes, let's do it. Yeah. I like watching these kind of hands because it's just like a spider crawling on a freaking keyboard, you know, like it doesn't even look human anymore at that point.
Wow, 2 ravens at
He's
this
trying, man.
point of the game.
That's trying. All right.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him.
Alrighty. So I would say like this is just a matter of practice, right? Just spend like the next week or so playing unranked. And just don't put that key back in. Just don't put that key back in, and you'll be alright.
Okay.
It's just like you gotta build up that speed again, you know, to get used to it. And at some point, like what you can do, say when you make infestors, you just immediately hotkey them to 4 without even thinking about it, you know, like it's not like it's not like I have to like consciously imagine like, oh shit, I have to add these to a separate hotkey. It's like no, it goes there.
So here's a question. Let's say I'm doing this habitually, and then 5 minutes into the game, you know, I get a drop, 2 drops on separate. You know, I don't want to do 3A click to my base. I mean, that would be the exact same problem. So if I needed to split up my army, I should highlight half of it, remove it from, or maybe assign it to a new. Maybe assign it to 4 and spread them out.
Yeah, here's what I don't know if you rebound the hotkey that you unbound by changing the control or the alt hotkey. But there's like a new hotkey they added in Legacy of the Void. That's actually a good question. I'm gonna have to. Maybe I can just open.
Those are the only questions I have.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good one. I'm just gonna have to reopen it again because otherwise it's difficult to explain. So I'm just gonna explain it the way I got it set up, which is just the default one. I think this may very well be the one that we're looking for. Anyway, so there's like a difference between Control, Shift, and Alt. Right now, I believe your Alt and Control do the same thing, which is I don't know exactly how it works, but anyway, so Control recreates a hotkey group. So if you hit Control +1, it recreates a hotkey group. Oh man, it doesn't work. I thought this would give me infinite resources or whatever is what it said. Anyway, so just to showcase real quick, right? We don't really need to make anything. So if I have all these things selected and I hit Control +1 or Control +2 or whatever, it's automatically going to be recreating hotkeys, right? If I have Shift, I can add something to any of those hotkeys as well. So right now it creates the little. Now, what I can do, and that's something they added in Legacy of the Void that's new, is like select part of that hotkey group. So right now I got part of it selected. And if I now hit Alt +2, what it does is that it moves the units from hotkey 1 to hotkey 2.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So once again, right? I'm just gonna redo it again. So now all of my hotkey groups are, you know, the same thing. So if I select a couple of the drones here, and I hit Alt+2, what's gonna happen is that it will remove all of those, or it will remove these units that I just got selected right now from any hotkey that they are in, and add them to a new hotkey.
Okay.
So say this is like a Roach Ravager ball or whatever, right? I got a bunch of Roach Ravager, and I'm seeing this is gonna be hotkey 1, right? And I want to be hotkeying a bunch to hotkey 2 because I see an incoming drop. What I can do is attack move behind my natural where like one of the drops is. Then select a bunch of it and hit Alt+2 and select there. So right now I can switch between the two on the fly.
How funny would it be if I reassign that to control so that my control and alts are basically switched?
That's what I'm saying. Like I have no idea how it's set up on your keyboard. You may just want to refer back to the standard one and go from there. But it's very valuable. Like it makes controlling it way easier. So once again, right? Usually say like army is hanging out here. I see one drop coming in from the natural right about right there, and then I see another one coming in right there. I can attack move to one of them, select part, go to the main, and select the other part, right?
Right.
And that's the exact same, well, drones I guess aren't the best fighting units, but that's the exact same thing you can do here as well. So I think what you probably want to go out and do is just remake the hotkey setup real quick and
Okay.
go from there.
Well, before we run out of time, why don't we get a couple more replays in?
Yeah. Let's do that.
I'm understanding this concepts.
Yeah. I'll write it down real quick as well. So control is overwrites or creates new hotkey. Shift is adds to existing hotkey. And alt, because we can talk about this all day, man, but
That's
existing hotkey.
the keys you're writing down. That's standard, right? That might not necessarily be true for me.
Yeah, these are the standard hotkeys.
Okay.
I think what you want to do is just make a new hotkey profile and just adjust the base camera hotkey and go from there.
Okay.
I don't know if you made any more changes to the hotkey other than the control, but that's probably worth it.
I kind of just went in there and just started pushing random buttons and assigning things here and there. I'm just kidding. I just dropped a brick on my keyboard and wherever it assigned. You know.
This is gonna be my all army hotkey. It happened to fall on F2. Like,
I make all of my F1, F2. They're all just all army hotkeys. Everything.
Yeah, just wherever you push it, just wherever it's a hotkey that's not actually a hotkey anywhere else, it's just all army. Nice.
Yeah. Could select my whole army with my fist instead of.
It's just like that's the all army hotkey. Anyway, I gave you the party lead, by the way. You can open up a replay if you want.
Let's do this terrible loss that will be entertaining to watch. It's a long one, but obviously you can fast forward.
We'll cruise through it.
There's 2 points in this game because I went and watched them, and there's 2 points in the game that I want you to look at.
Sure.
At one point, I'm so dominating the game that you're going to say, "Oh yeah, let me just watch." Oh wait. Oh no.
It's fine. You can immediately show me to the replay. That works as well.
Okay.
Now it's just you that can control the replay, I suppose.
Well, how about I quit real quick and redo it so you can control it?
All right, fair enough.
Because you know all the hotkeys for this stuff.
Sure.
So there's one point in the game where I want to make a note and just say, you will not believe that I'm about to lose this game because I'm in so much control and it's so much domination that you won't even believe it.
Can I guess? Does it have to do with siege tanks?
It does not. No.
Oh man, I've lost many games where I'm like that, where I'm like going Roach Ravager and I'm super far ahead and then I walk into a bunch of siege tanks and not paying attention. It's the worst.
Yeah, that could happen, but it's more painful than that. Trust me.
Oh, it's more painful. Oh crap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess any loss like that's gonna be painful, equally painful, but
we'll see.
It doesn't seem possible, obviously, and I kind of know. I know pretty much what I did, but so at 7 minutes, I actually.
Sorry. I was just looking at his like clan decal, like the decal that's around his hatchery. Would that be a photo of himself?
You mean his His command center?
Yeah, like next to his command center, there's like a.
Oh.
I have no idea. There's just a random person lying down on a couch.
On the couch. That's hilarious.
Oh, people in the chat are guessing Widow Mines. Would that be it?
That's not it.
Oh
No.
man.
Oh, it's definitely more. It's very easily foreseen. It's not anything sneaky. It's
All right, we'll see. All right, sorry, you were saying 7 minutes?
yeah, 7 minutes. I actually do something that I'm really proud of. That's it was a pretty slick micro move that I want you to see, and then it's a long game. So at 19 minutes is where at that point there's no way that I'll lose the game.
But
And
you did
then-
lose this one in the end?
Oh yeah, I blew it. I blew it. That's really bad.
Fair enough, fair enough.
You're gonna question my diamond status when you see this.
I mean, to be fair, like 90% of the games are decided like the first 8 minutes or so, though. So it's fine. Like 19 minutes is forgivable.
It was decided, but it was.
It was already a
Yeah.
win, but then it was a loss.
Yeah.
Yes, honestly, like just to get back to strategy real quick, it's sort of the same thing here as versus Protoss. I think you can get away with a faster third and like
Okay.
slower gases.
There have been times when I'll do hatch, then spawning pool, but to be honest, I usually do that when I'm playing unranked because I'm more brave, because it doesn't matter if I lose.
Uh-huh.
And oddly enough, I'll get away with it.
I find hatch before pool versus Terran to be really risky against like Reaper openers.
Right.
But I would say like versus both Terran and Protoss, you can go hatch gas pool. Like hatch gas pool, get Zerging speed, and then when you can afford it, get the third base. That's sort of like the standard.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I did. It was a little more delayed on the third.
Yeah, yeah, we once again got the same thing here with the gases as well, and then you know, a little bit too fast of a gas guys and a little bit too late of a third. I like once again though the creep spread. The focus on creep spread is really good, and here this is what we're talking about, right? This little move here is what you mentioned earlier, where you have got a scouting link, and then you put it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I F2'd, and then I realized what I did, and I sent him back.
Yep.
Okay, so coming up here, you see those two medevacs in his main? I'll slow it down for me and do regular speed. It's right at 7 minutes, so it's 6:30 right now. He's about to load up these 4 medevacs and send them across. But luckily, my creep spread is good enough to where I see it early enough, and I've got Roach Ravengers ready and waiting, and I get off a pretty sick micro. I want you to see.
All right. All right.
Probably the only thing in these replays I can be proud of.
When you've been watching
Okay.
replays on like ×8, the faster speed feels so slow. Is that just me? Like.
Oh yeah, it does seem slow, but
Here we
okay.
go.
So, you see my Ravengers?
Oh, you gotta snipe him out of the sky.
I am gonna snipe a couple of them out of the sky. It's pretty.
Oh, there we go. Okay, that's sweet. Okay, that is sweet. That's basically game over right there, man. Like he's been building this up for the first 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, that was his whole efforts.
If anything, you got the mental victory at this point. Oh, you did? Oh, I thought you got the one with the double siege tanks as well. That would have been
Okay.
glorious. That was really sweet. That was a good push.
I started getting overconfident with my aiming. skills there.
You can see it in the macro as well. Like you immediately start flooding. You weren't flooding at any point during the Protoss games, except when you
No.
snipe a bunch of medevacs.
That became my game strategy for the next few weeks.
Yeah. Just snipe these last 2 in A move. That was a sweet move, dude. No, all things considered, that was a really solid snipe. I never managed to pull that off, man. It feels good when you get it, but I either always put it too far forward or like too far backwards. It never, for some reason, I can't time it properly.
Well, I've started doing a little circle around them.
Right, so
And
you do
so-
like a little 360 or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, if you have like at least 8 Ravengers, you can do a full spread around them, and they'll hit at least one of them.
Uh-huh.
Unless they just figure it out and stay still.
So by the way, I like your droning here a lot better. Like right now you got 66 workers. For muta play and whatnot, that's fine. You could probably get away with a couple more, but there we go. Oh man. Well hey. For once the O army hotkey works out brilliantly there.
Yeah.
I find like this is not a good example, right? I would be so terrified of having my mutas on the same hotkey group as my Roach Ravager versus Liberator, just because Liberators absolutely shred mutas, right? If you miss micro them for a second, they'll do splash damage.
Yeah.
So like this is a good army composition, in many scenarios, right? But it's just if you have them on one hotkey group, it may be a little difficult to control. Anyhow, I think I've covered that by now.
Yeah.
Solid Hive play once again. I like that a lot. Do you go Ultras or what's the goal?
No, Broodlord Corruptor.
Okay. Oh, versus Planetaries, that's fine.
Yeah. Once I noticed that, I think I am able to snipe that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look at that, right? Like I don't think any of those mutas needed to die there, and yet like a whole lot of them ended up falling to 4 Liberators. He's still trying. You're still living off that high right here. Nice. That was a sweet snipe though. Okay, yeah. So I like this a lot though, like the Hive play as well. I think versus Terran in particular, Hive play is incredible. It's like the best thing you can do against Terran for sure.
And sometimes I know that I shouldn't be running my army into a certain situation because it's gonna get shredded, but it's like, I don't know, just an impulse thing, and I like, you know. So I've already got the Broodlords, and so look, he only has 3 base, and I think his main's totally mined out, so that's like maybe 1.5 left.
Ooh, one thing I didn't check for that in the Protoss game. Adrenal Glands is like the best upgrade in the game. Well, besides the chitinous plating for the Ultras, but Adrenal Glands on the Zerglings, that upgrade is like amazing.
Okay.
It's 30% more attack speed, so it's literally 30% more damage out of Zerglings. Considering you're making a lot of links, like that's actually a really big pickup. It's like usually the first thing you build, even before +3/+3 at Hive.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I think I was just dumping minerals into those lings. That wasn't a part of my like strategic plan. That's probably why I didn't even think about it.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I think it's good though, cause the only thing that breeds Broodlords for Terran usually, like Broodlord Corruptor straight up, they can't fight it, right? The only way they can fight it is by counterattacking. So usually Zerglings are really good at defending that. But yeah, just a little thing. I don't know if you were aware of how good that upgrade is. Like the upgrade is really good.
I will try to do that. So he's finally fighting back my creep spread. I had it all the way up to his door.
Oh wait, you lost this game, right? That's what you said. I was wondering how you were gonna do that. Yeah, okay.
Oh man, you won't even believe it. Right. I mean, it's obvious what I realized what I did. Okay, basically Liberators have splash damage, you know. So I think I clump a little bit trying to kill him, but I knew he had no econ, so I was like, there's no way like he has enough, even with my units clump to, you know, do anything. So I think I sniped his expo again. So he literally has like nothing here, right?
Yeah, the only thing he has is 16 Liberator.
He does. Yeah, that is a lot of Liberators. I you know, and I assumed like there's no way he can afford 16 Liberators. That didn't even cross my mind. So I come up here, clumped up.
Yeah, it's only 16 Corruptors as well, right? And there's missile turrets.
Yeah. I was pressing, and look at all the Broodlords I have morphing.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's the golden rule as well. You never want to get any more than like 5 or so. Ouch. Okay. Ouch. Yeah, splash damage.
But I mean, terrifying. I still should be okay. I have 9,000 minerals. Every base, I have every base on the map except for his.
Yeah, you got the Marines, man. This is where the Lynx would do well. There we go.
That's true. So I should have probably switched to Lynx. I think I probably did make some Lynx, but.
One thing you may want to do every time you're at Hive anyway. Hold on, I haven't actually written down anything. But anyway. One thing you might want to do anyway, whenever you get a Ultra Cavern or a Greater Spire, is get the other tech path as well. So what I mean is, like, now that you have a Greater Spire, when you started it, you should have just also started the Ultra Cavern. Just get both of them. That's what all the pro gamers do. And I've never really quite understood why until I started doing it, just because of these scenarios. Like if you could pop out 3 Ultras right here, they will actually beat those Marines. And then you could actually potentially still fight this back. Well, actually, you would probably still be able to fight it back. But yeah, it's like you know, the best of both worlds, I suppose. You don't have to make any Ultras. It's sort of like that Roach Warren timing, you know. You just sort of make it just in case. And late game, you can dump the minerals anyway.
Right.
Yeah, this is a painful army loss.
So I have 26 corruptors. Even at this point, I should be all right, you know?
Yeah, you just have no counter to the Marines.
24 corruptors, lings. I'm morphing a couple of brood lords. Like, I still thought that it was totally fine here.
Yeah, Marines are
And
terrible.
I'm kind of putting all my eggs in one basket on that expo to the mid right.
Oh,
I'm
he's
just
still
kinda
got no
letting him-
bases though. Yeah, he's got nothing.
I'm letting him spend all his time going around while I'm building up and prepping, because all I have to do is win one more battle and the game's over.
Actually,
Correct.
right now, I was assuming he was gonna go ahead and stim in and kill the army that you had, but he's instead going after bases, which is fair enough.
Okay, so I've got full army again. I've got, was that 20 corruptors and brood lords and lings, and how am I gonna lose to this? Now he has no liberators, but I think I let my brood lords get too close.
this is the thing, right? You need to like manipulate one of those ledges or whatever to like win this. That base is gone anyway, right? So like, well, you could actually use this high ground right here, I suppose, but you gotta make sure the Marines can't get underneath.
But I guess I thought that I was still safe because
Right.
of my spine forest I had.
Yeah, maybe you should have just camped at that spine forest. He was gonna come there sooner or later. Honestly though, like obviously at like 19 minutes, the game should have already been won. There was like no real excuse from there.
Yeah, I bet Mass Ling would have done it a lot better than what I did.
Yeah, I like the Corruptor. Maybe you should have gone for the Brute Lord, and then after that died, you should have probably switched to Corruptor Ultraling. Ultras would have been brilliant here. He's just started mining again. He actually landed a base over here.
Oh wow, 15 on 2.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he's got the mules up top.
Yep. Welcome to Terran.
See, I'm trying to spread that creep there, but
look at the income as well. He's got no workers really, but he's still got 4 times your income. Long live mules. Yeah, so that's the Sauron. All right. Yeah. So slow down on the gas. Get the third base faster. Once again, when link speed finishes, like it's the same thing. When link speed finishes, make a round of Zerglings. And
those Marines and Marauders were 3-3 too, so that.
Yeah, Bio is scary, man. Bio is terrifying. Make a round of Zerglings, and yeah, I guess it comes down to controlling of the army, right? Yeah, in this game you just need a little bit more patience, I suppose. That was a horrible way to lose, though. That was a painful way to give up those hard-earned ladder points right there.
I know, man. I felt like I controlled the game so well, and then it's just I would say that
was actually really well played.
One of my weaknesses definitely is engagements, and it's not that I don't understand, the concepts of use a cliff as leverage, and you don't just run up on tanks and just get shredded. Like I understand the engagements that are bad, and I can even foresee them before it happens, but just sometimes it's just adrenaline,
Yeah, it's patience. It's patience. Like patience is really difficult in StarCraft because you can already almost like feel the win, right? And you're like, well, crap, let's go, boys. We got this one. Let's go. But at the very least, next time you're in this scenario, you probably are gonna let your Brute Lords get a couple of hits in first and bait them out a bunch and get some more Corruptors and not morph in 16.
Well, I probably would have
spread
spreading my Corruptors out would have helped a lot too.
Yeah, and not morphing in 8 more Brutes. Yeah, that would have helped a lot too.
So if I didn't morph those extras in and spread them out, it
even
probably
then,
would have been
like even just not morphing the Brutes would probably already have been enough, and not engaging atop the missile turrets would probably already be good.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's have a look at the Zerg vs Terran win as well, and then cruise through that one, and then we have a final look at some ZVZ too. Should be good.
All right. 1v1 win versus Terran.
Let's go. Yeah, I would still consider, even though you lost ladder points, right? I would still consider that last game a win, man. That was a good, the Medivac snipes were all you needed there. There's a win right there at like 4 minutes, or was it 7 minutes?
7, yeah. Felt like that was a quality engagement.
Oh well. It happens. It happens to everyone. I've had many games like where I just do stupid things. For some reason, as of recent, I've been forgetting spawning pools. It's dumb. Like, I'm thinking about, like, mid-game play, and I'm, like, thinking about strategies, and I'm talking to people in the chat, and then I forget to put down a freaking spawning pool. It's like, wow. That's probably the worst thing you can forget, and it's also the easiest thing not to forget.
Yeah, that actually wouldn't surprise me only because you're almost like saturating 3 bases before you make a ling anyway. So
it's hard to pull off, man. All right, here we go. That's the gold base. So now you did get it way earlier. I would say you could get it at this timing no matter what. Even if it wasn't a gold base, you could get it at this timing at latest every game for sure.
Hey, I got it early and I won this one, so
there you go. Yeah, and very aggressive droning here as well. Now, I would be a little careful. Like, right now, you're kind of pushing it. Like you're saying, like, I sometimes get away with a lot of drones. I would always make that group of Zerglings, okay? Even if it's just to, like, once again, have a little bit of vision right here, right there, you know? Just so you can see incoming army. So, like, whenever, like, Ling speed finishes, just go ahead and make a round of Zerglings. That's like
I've got an Overlord there, but it's definitely not in a good spot. I think I was looking to see if he went for the gold.
Yeah. Yeah, like maybe you can, on this map, you can put it over there. Like the little high ground right there, he can't see that part. He's looking for it though. He's watching for you.
What point should I put it at?
If you look at like the how am I gonna show it? You see the building supply depot right now?
Yeah.
Just north of that, like the little ramp thing.
Okay.
That's considered a high ground. The same goes over there.
His Marines can't shoot me if I'm over that?
Nope, unless he has a medevac. Once he gets high ground vision, he can see it.
Okay.
But early game, that's a good spot, just because you can scout like Hellion incoming, and you can scout all kinds of things. So usually you can just send it right there from the beginning of the game.
Gotcha.
Is it bad opening with a spawning pool? Did Lowko just say that? No. I said I accidentally have been forgetting my spawning pool in some games lately. Those are silly losses because you're like somewhere else completely with your head, and you're not thinking about spawning pools, man. Like I've built like I don't know how many spawning pools, but I've built many spawning pools right now.
I probably shouldn't have pushed here. It's one of those a little over aggressive, but sometimes yeah, this was a very bad idea. Yep. He's definitely got the bigger and better army than I do, but I feel like sometimes, and I've heard you say this before, that
it's not even bad, to be honest, man. It still works out reasonable.
I think sometimes if I know an army, if I know a battle's going to be just an even trade where both of our armies get wiped out, that sometimes that's good for, especially for a Zerg, because I can make my army a lot faster than he can.
Yeah.
Replenish it.
Yeah, no, the idea behind that is right now, if you trade evenly, like if you look at income, if you trade evenly right now, that basically means you're going to get like a 2 to 3 advantage just because you get way more income than he does, right? So like an even trade right here is an advantage for you. Yeah, that's a good thing to keep in mind, in particular because Terran is terrifying when it's maxed out anyway, so if you can keep it smaller.
Yeah, just avoiding that death ball.
Mm-hmm.
If you just keep engaging it, if it's even, and I had a smaller army than his, so it basically was even trade as far as units lost versus units lost, I believe.
I would start doing faster hive plays if I were you. Hive play, like in Zerg vs Terran, is like the bane of Terran's existence. Like as of late, the quick ultra play is like the complete standard. And like a lot of the Zerg players, like the Korean guys, they've been getting hives at like 6 minutes, like stupid early. Wow. And maybe that's a little excessive, but just to indicate it, right? Like you can get away with super early hives if you you could easily have afforded it already, right? Like you're going still relatively early here. Actually, this is still a pretty good timing for hive, to be fair. But yeah, try and go for those ultras as fast as you can. That's definitely worth it in many occasions.
Okay.
I've found no matches really where it's not worth it. Like the current style for Zerg vs Terran at like the pro level is to try and not attack until you got ultras, which to be fair is at like 9 minutes, but
yeah.
What is this? Why is he scanning 3 times? There we go. Oh, there we go. We're gonna add on 4 queens. Do we have a plan? Or just accidentally made 4 queens?
I think it was to combat the drops.
Okay.
But you know,
I like
I
that.
don't. No, it wasn't a plan for attack or anything.
Okay, yeah, no, maybe I thought, because she just got the Spire as well. Maybe you wanted to go Brutalers or whatever. There we go.
I might. I can't remember on this one what I did, but we got the drops to the left. This could be deadly.
Yep. Yeah, so I would really try and get those Ultras out, okay? Like, if you try and focus on that, I actually made a video about it that I put up, well, for you last night. It was 7 in the morning over here, but anyway. I made a video where I explained the entire strategy. So I'll actually just add a link to this as well if you want to.
What's the Terran counter for ultras?
Liberator. So usually that's the reason. Well, they got Liberators and they got Ghosts. Now Ghosts are pretty easy to counter because you just sort of make Banelings. Banelings are pretty good. But then because you, like I mentioned, like you get the Spire and the Ultra Cavern no matter what. Like when you get the Ultra Cavern, you may as well just get the Spire. You can really quickly switch to, once they switch to Liberator plate, you can really easily switch to Corruptor and then into Brute Lords.
Okay.
And then, you know, if they decide to go heavy Marine again or whatever, or they go for more Ghosts, you can just... It's like a fun dynamic late game kind of thing. Anyway,
yeah. I'll do a Muta switch often in ZVP because if I'm doing my typical Hydra, I see a lot of Colossus, you know, and a lot of Adepts and things like that, and then I switch to Mutas on them blindly, and they can't do anything. You know?
Right. Yeah. Hold on, I actually just sent you a link, but it's the wrong link. There we go. That's the one. Yeah, just if you have some time and you want to check it out, that's kind of the idea. I think you can.
Okay.
I think you can execute that one with relative ease. Like you got the macro for it for sure. And
okay.
I mean, like honestly, because you say like you're having some issues versus drop play and all that, I was thinking that your creep spread and whatnot would be one of the things to work on as well. The creep spread is really good. If you can maintain that with like the hotkey changes, that alone should already be able to push you like up in Diamond League. You know, like it's not so much spending and queen injects and all that are all fine. I mean, the things I'm mainly mentioning here are all like pretty small, you know? It's not like, that's like what I said initially, right? Like, I'm sure you can build Ultra Caverns. I don't need to explain to you that you need, you know, put down Ultra Caverns. You can deal with that. This is good though.
Yeah, I think Ultras is underused thing for me, and I don't utilize Vipers enough and effectively.
Yeah, I barely use them as well. I probably should. Oof. Oh, there we go.
I know it looked rough, but I felt like I had it, and I do.
Well, yeah. Look at the bank. Yeah, so definitely ultras here would be brilliant. Like if you could just make a bunch of ultra here, you would absolutely stomp them. Ultras are like the end-all be-all unit versus Terran. Like in particular versus Terran, they're incredible. When they go bio like this, they're a great unit. Anyway, let's quickly roll through some ZVZ as well, okay? Just to close things out. It's already getting pretty late, man.
Yes.
But all good. I actually need to drop off my parents at the airport in like 4 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we gotta hurry. Which one's ZVZ? Win or loss?
Let's just do one ZVZ replay, okay? Let's do the ZVZ. The win.
Okay. Okay. So, ZVZ is just ling rush.
Oh hey.
Constantly.
That's it, man.
So it's so annoying. It's almost not even enjoyable sometimes. When I see ZVZ, I'm just like, oh man.
I love it whenever, like when I'm playing random, I absolutely love playing ZVZ. Just because, can you make me the host, by the way? But yeah, I just love it because of all the micro stuff. Like I had some sick games tonight where I felt in complete control. But yeah, you're right. It all comes down to micro and hotkeying and macro, and you know, it's just all decided in like the first 5 minutes. That's basically it.
Right. Do you, in Terran, just real quick, you always go Roach Ravager, and I always go Roach Ravager to start because I felt like that you were right about that being the best strategy, but they almost always go to drops, and I almost always have to switch to mutas just because, and maybe getting rid of my F2 addiction will uh, alleviate my need for that. But I just can't, like, Roach Ravager against those drops. Like, you can never catch those medevacs, and it's just it pulls away from my macro so much because I'm having to micro back and forth and back and forth. My Roach Ravager trying to get these things, and it never stops, because if you can't get those medevacs, they're just gonna dip in and out constantly.
Yeah, and if you get used to like that producing while defending and attacking as well, like you know when we were doing when you were like chasing down that that one Zergling or whatever it was, and you were attacking across the map.
Yeah.
When you get used to that, you can do the same thing when you're defending. Like you can still add on more units while you're defending, and it creates like it creates this macro thing. Yeah, exactly.
But it's just adding more units or more drones or whatever is not the problem. But clicking upgrades, making tech buildings, you know, those are the things that I neglect whenever I'm microing heavily. It's not, you know, I can make drones and make units without looking back at my base. It's it's more so the other way.
Yeah. I see. Oh well, yeah. I think the hotkeying alone would already help out a lot. The camera hotkeys as well. We haven't really gone over those, but camera hotkeys can help out with that as well, where you can jump to your bases. But I would stick to the hotkeying for now of the army, and just like don't put that F2 key back in for like, you know, a week or two.
Okay.
I don't know how many games you can play a day, but it helps out a lot if you get rid of that as you so beautiful call it, the addiction. Like that was some solid defense right there.
Thank you.
Yeah. You didn't lose thing. You didn't lose. Well, you lost 3 links, but it doesn't count.
Should have watched that in slow-mo.
Yeah.
maybe you'll learn a thing or two.
The ring around the rosy of the hatchery and get the spine crawler hits in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he does a lot of Ling Bane. Just, I had a couple of bad, like that was bad, and then a couple of good ones. I mean, I think, you know, if someone's Ling Bane just constantly, I mean, you're gonna take a couple bad hits over time, like if they do it long enough.
Yep. Do you plan on switching to roaches, or like is that your goal here, or?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I would be I would not be getting the second gas. I don't know if you were planning on mining from it, but I would not be getting it until you at least get the roach warren started.
Right. Yeah, and at this point it looks pretty bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, at this point it looks pretty bad. I don't know. Yeah, maybe you get a lot of links out right now and you manage to shoo them away. But it can be done in like one detonation, right? That's the nature of ZVZ right now.
Right. No, never fear. I think I do a good job here.
Nice. Wait, you're not gonna lose the natural? Don't lose the natural. No, come on, man. You fought so hard for that one. You actually
I got it.
30 HP. If only those 3 links that were standing right there were not standing right there, but actually attacking.
Oh yeah.
They were idling for a little bit.
Oh no.
But look, like while this is all going on, right? You could even lose the natural and still be far ahead. Like just look at Income. Income is hugely in your favor. Like he's completely all in here. Just for the show, he transferred some workers from the main to the natural, but it really doesn't add up.
Yeah. Do you think he did that to throw me off?
Could be. Maybe he just wanted to feel better about him having a natural. I don't know.
Yeah.
There you go. That's good. Oh.
You got it.
Well, hey, fair enough though. Like it really, like still, you know, you still get way more income than him, and you're spending all of it. So that's the main thing here. I like the fact you added on an extra queen when you pulled the ones to the natural. That's very good. Honestly, losing that natural, it wasn't the biggest deal because you weren't mining there anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was more just production rather than income.
Yep. Honestly, for like ZVZ, there's so little I can tell you because a lot of it comes down to just simply control, right?
Yeah.
Now, there are a couple of things I guess that I can tell you for control, but you seem to already be implementing all of that. Yeah, so the main thing is like don't get the second gas until the roach warren. And don't get the roach warren until like, I don't know, the roach warren until like 2 base saturation or so. And what I mean by that is like having full minerals, or for like full drones on minerals, you know. So like don't get it too early. Like right now, 1 base roach play, generally speaking, is just not It's not gonna do it against Zerglings.
Yeah.
But
You
other
see
than
that
like, a lot of it comes
that
in.
transfuse?
That was good. That was a good transfuse.
Yeah.
Holding the line.
Yeah.
Even the drones helping out.
Drones. Saved one of them. Man, that was painful.
Yeah,
He's relentless.
This is like your typical ZVZ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's so annoying too. I can't even get a roach out. It's.
You're spending good though. Like you're spending really well here. There we go. Now we need to transfer some workers. Let's go. Let's go. That's actually losing a lot of resources there.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, that's so good.
I figure, you know,
The
you
queen
don't
is
before your
manufacturer.
seconds, you don't think about like running out of minerals that quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, like by like 9 minutes or so, you can start running out of minerals. It's pretty crazy how fast it goes.
I actually inject often with that via the mini map. Have you ever done that?
I know some people that do it. I know that TLO used to do that quite a bit, like the programmer, but I don't know if he still does.
It can be faster if your clicks are accurate. You can do, you know, I do 2V because 2 is my queens. 2V click, 2V click, 2V click on the mini map, and you can inject all of them really fast that way.
I actually haven't really done that. I know that I find it very inaccurate for some reason. I don't know. I don't feel very comfortable doing it. I rather
Yeah.
I do the same thing I guess, but then the camera hotkeys, you know. So I just hit F1, I select the queen and click.
Yeah.
So F1 would be my main base hotkey, but it's I guess once again right. That's all personal preference. If you feel accurate, doing that, I mean, that works. There we go. I think now we can switch to roaches though.
Yeah,
Going Spire,
I might.
that works.
Production tab. Let's see. Queen. Nope.
Yeah,
I'm going.
yeah,
Oh,
I
I'm
got
going Spire.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Because I figured there's no way he has any anti-air.
Yep. And with this many spines and queens, you're gonna be fine at defending as well.
Yeah, I'm making 17 mutas right now.
17. There we go. Yeah, that's good planning though.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Mutas
there you
are-
go.
are
I was
that-
gonna say like I'm really missing that hotkey for the mutas, and right when I thought it, you immediately hotkeyed number 3. Not sure why, but hey, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Occasionally I'll set something on 3, but
You just set it up just to like showcase what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then switch back to F2.
just making myself feel like I'm doing something legit.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, okay, so ZVZ should be pretty straightforward. Not too much I can tell you there, to be honest. It just comes down... Like, it comes down to control, and control is done again by those hotkeys. I think that would be really helpful.
Right.
Anyhow, man, I made a whole bunch of notes. What I'll go ahead and do is just email those to you.
Okay.
Should I just use the same email that you contacted me on?
The email, yes. Something that I wanted to ask would be if I have a group of units. Like one time, man, this was the worst. I had Mass Roach Ravager, and if I have them all selected and I press C, you know, C click, you know, the corrosive bile. But it was a battle that was right by one of my expos, and so I highlighted the queen. So I was doing C click, but there was one queen in the whole group, and it just made the queen do you know, creep tumors.
Right.
Because that was the what C. So if I have a multiple abilities in my group, I think
you can
tab,
you can switch between casters with tab. Yeah.
Is that the best and only way to do it?
Yeah, you can switch with tab, or what you can do is just simply remove the queen. Like you say, like the same way as you could like remove the cocoons. You just hold down shift and you click on the queen and then recreate the hotkey group.
Oh well, yeah. It was just a highlight selection.
Oh right, okay, yeah. Then you can do with that as well. You can also on the map you can also control click the Ravagers, and that way you select only the Ravagers. That could work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the feeling, because I know the feeling well, because I usually don't see that until I already have put down 4 creep tumors. I'm like, bile, inject. I'm like, crap, where's my biles? And it's just a bunch of creep tumors.
Yeah. That happens.
Anyway, man, if you run into anything, just let me know on Skype, okay? I'll try and answer any questions that you may have. So just let me know.
Yeah, I won't bug you much, but I can guarantee you, like, I'll be playing tomorrow and be like, dang it, I meant to ask him that. You know?
Sure. Just drop me a question, dude. I try and answer as soon as I can. So just no problem at all. And,
Okay, cool.
If you need any
cool.
clarification or whatever, just let me know. All right,
I sure appreciate it. I know we waited a long time for it. Sorry for missing the last appointment.
Oh, no problem at all, man. Are you by the way okay if I upload it to YouTube?
Sure, yeah.
Awesome. I think a lot of people will find it useful. I haven't done any diamond level coaching in a while, so that'd be awesome.
No worries, man. All right. Well, I sure appreciate your help, and good luck to you and your master campaign.
Hey, thank you very much, man. Have a good one, and nice evening. All right, take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.